Good morning, grade 3 boys and girls. Today we're going to revise your revision sheets for final exam. In Grammar 3, Units 11 to 20. Let's get started. Unit 11, must, can't, and could for deductions. So as you remember, we use must to say what we think. We use can't for the negative, to say what we don't think. And we use could if we think we know, but we aren't sure. 1. Letter A. Directions. Complete the sentences using must, can't, or could. Number 1. It blank be a present for me. It isn't my birthday. So the answer here is negative, so can't. It can't be a present for me. It isn't my birthday. Number 2. The letter blank be from Uncle Peter. I am not sure. So the answer here is could. The letter could be from Uncle Peter. I'm not sure. Number 3. Come in and sit down. You blank be tired after the journey. So the answer here is must. Come in and sit down. You must be tired after the journey. Number 4. She always gets such good grades at school. She blank worked very hard. So the answer here is must. She always gets such good grades at school. She must work very hard. Number 5. The house is near the motorway. It blank be very noisy. The answer here is must. The house is near the motorway. It must be very noisy. Let's move on to number 6 to number 10 using so and such. We use so with an adjective by itself, while we use such with a noun with or without an adjective before it. Number 1. It was blank fun at Amanda's party. The music was great. The answer is such. It was such fun at Amanda's party. The music was great. Number 7. Nick's room is so untidy. He really must clean it. So the answer for number 7 is so. Number 8. Uncle Peter is such a generous person. So the answer here is such. Number 9. This is such an interesting book. So the number 9 is such. Number 10. I'm blank excited about my trip to Canada. So the answer is so. So excited. Next is Unit 12, both and neither. All and none. We use both and neither to talk about only two people or things. We use a plural verb with both. We usually use a singular affirmative verb with neither. We usually put it at the beginning of a sentence. We use all and none to talk about more than two people or things. We use a plural verb with all. We put all after the be verb or before a full verb. Directions. Fill the gaps with both or neither. Number 1. What shall we have for dinner? Pasta or just a salad? Can we have both? I'm really hungry. Number 2. Do you want black coffee or tea? Neither. Thanks. Can I just have some water? Number 3. Did you manage to contact Amina? No, I've called her at home and on her mobile, but both lines are busy. Number 4. I know Nina, Rod, and Jake. None of them eats meat. Number 5. I know Nina, Rod, and Jake. They all do yoga. 6. All students were late yesterday. 7. Do all English people like the Queen? Let's move on to Unit 13, Conditional Sentences Type 2. When we imagine something which probably won't happen, we use a conditional sentence type 2 to talk about it. We use a past tense verb in the if clause. After if, we often use were instead of was for all persons. We use would with the infinitive or base form of the verb in the main clause. To answer, write sentences. What would you do if? Number 1. I am taller, not have to wear high-heeled shoes. So if you answer this, if I were taller, I would not have to wear high-heeled shoes. Number 2. I have enough money to buy a new computer. If I had enough money, I would buy a new computer. Try to finish this using the form if plus past simple plus would plus base form or infinitive verb. In Unit 14, this is totally the same as the lesson in Unit 20, the verbs with to plus infinitive form. We use to plus infinitive or base form after the following words: agree, decide, hope, learn, offer, promise, refuse, seem, want, etc. and some verbs plus objects. We always use the ing form of a verb which follows: avoid, enjoy, feel like, finish, can't help, don't mind, risk, can't stand, suggest, etc. Let's answer. Circle the correct verb forms. Number 1, I enjoy learning languages. Number 2, I want to learn a new language. Number 3, I enjoy traveling. 4, I want to speak to the manager. 5, he likes looking after animals. 6, I don't mind waiting if you're busy. 7, she loves playing the piano. Number 8, he offered to help us wash up. Number 9, he plans to go to university in Chicago. Number 10, would you like to have dinner with us on Friday? And number 11, most people prefer watching a film at the cinema rather than on TV. In Unit 15, need plus ing form. After need, we use the ing form to say that something should be done to a person or a thing. This is a passive structure where the usual subject plus verb plus object form changes to object plus need plus verb plus the ing. So directions. Complete the sentences with need and the words in the box. So number 1, that's car. So car is an object. It is only singular, so you will use needs. That car needs cleaning. Number 2, Mary's hair needs combing. 3, Ayman's socks need washing. And number 4, Muhammad's shirt needs ironing. Let's study the vocabulary words in Units 11 to 15. They are generous, health, voluntary, university, fantastic, abroad, properly. Let's answer. Number 1, the agency is voluntary and not run for profit. Number 2, I want to study abroad next year, but I don't know where. Number 3, she has always been very generous toward the poor. Number 4, all of the above listed products are fantastic and a great buy. Number 5, students should dress properly. 6, don't eat a lot of sugar. It isn't good for your health. 7, when Jenna leaves school, she'd like to study at university. Unit 16, relative clauses. We use who for people and which for things. We can also use that for people and things. We often use where to talk about a place. To show possession, we use whose. Let's get started. Number 1, the food which we eat give us energy. Number 2, people who are very active need more energy. 3, carrots are vegetables which keep your eyes healthy. Number 4, in past, most people ate food which they grow themselves. 5, oranges and lemons are fruits which contain lots of vitamin C. 6, someone who eats lots of fruit and vegetable will stay healthy. Number 7, that's the boy who sold me this MP3 player. Number 8, here's a picture of the small town where we stayed in France. Number 9, look, that's the bus that will take you to the town center. Number 10, that's the girl whose cat has run away. We skipped Unit 17. Let's move to Unit 18, ought to and should. We use ought to plus infinitive or base form or should plus infinitive to give advice or to say what we think is right. Ought to means the same as should. In questions and negative form, we use should more often than ought to. Directions. Complete the sentences. Use ought to and shouldn't. Number 1. Young children shouldn't watch violent TV shows. Number 2. You shouldn't talk so much during the classes. Number 3. You ought to tell him it's best to be honest with him. Number 4. You ought to go back and study everything again. Number 5. You shouldn't keep your friends waiting when you meet each other. Number 6. You ought to concentrate on what you're doing. Number 7. You ought to try and get enough sleep. Number 8. You shouldn't worry. It isn't good for you. Number 9. You ought to wear a warm jacket. It's really cold outside. Number 10. He says Ahmed ought to be quiet when he's doing homework. Unit 19, question tags. We add question tags to the end of the statements to turn them into questions. They are used in spoken language, especially when we want to check something is true or invite people to agree with us. If the main part of the sentence is positive, we usually add a negative question tag. For example, Jake is lovely, isn't he? If the main part is negative, we usually add a positive question tag. For example, none of them eat meat, do they? I have given here 9 statements. All you have to do is to add the appropriate question tags to the following. Number 1. She isn't coming. A. Is she? B. Isn't she? So here in number 1, as you see, it is negative statement. So we're going to use a positive question tag. Number 1 again, she isn't coming. Is she? Number 2, Mary has arrived. A. Has she? B. Hasn't she? So here the statement is positive. So we're going to use a negative question tag. Mary has arrived. Hasn't she? Please complete your answers here in Unit 19. And let's move on to Unit 20. As what I've told you earlier, this Unit 20 is the same as Unit 13. Verbs with to plus infinitive or the ing form. Let's answer. Number 1. I don't mind waiting if you're busy. Number 2. I want to speak to the principal. Number 3. He finished speaking and sat down. Number 4. He tried to explain but she refused to listen. Number 5. You are advised to start early. Number 6. I prefer you calling me by my first name. Number 7. Avoid driving if you feel tired or sleepy. Number 8. We hope to see you again soon. In exercise letter B, complete the sentences using infinitive form. Like for example, the father taught me, given inside the brackets the words, dance how. My father taught me how to dance. So to plus infinitive form. Please complete the answers in your revision sheets. Good luck in your exams. And if you want to have more explanation, rewatch the online teaching that I've made. Thank you.